Hi, I'm Audrey Murray.
Hi, I'm Tanya Espahal.
And I'm Giuseppe Varilla.
We are Team 32, and we've been assigned construction equipment. Today we're going to be talking to you about construction equipment. A brief roadmap of where we're going is first we'll talk about the key players, then we'll talk about categories of construction equipment, state-of-the-art inventions, case studies, trends, and then issues and challenges for last. First off are the key players in construction. Now, you might have heard of John Deere and Caterpillar, but there are a few other top players in the United States, such as the Manitowoc Group, Oshkosh Corporation, Terex, etc. Categories in construction equipment. We broke construction equipment down into 4 categories. The first category being earth moving. Earth moving includes stuff like excavators, dumpers, backhoe loaders, and graders. Here you can see the dumper. Here you can see the backhoe loader. Here is the excavator, and here is the grader. The second category is compaction. So you have your different types of rollers. First, you have your vibratory roller that it looks like a regular roller, but as you're going across the ground, it vibrates and compacts. You have your impact roller, as you can see here. It kind of does like a thumping motion on the ground. And then you have the sheep's foot roller, which has a little bit of texture to the roller. You have your vibrocompaction, which is right here. This thing goes into the ground and it vibrates. And then you also have your dynamic compaction, which is this device right here, and this little weight you lift up and then you drop down. And you do that over and over again until you reach the compaction that you need. Next, we have cranes. We have 7 different types of cranes. First, you have the telescopic crane, which it comes out. So you can see that it's in this green area right here, but then it comes out. You have your tower crane. It's a very basic type. You can see it over near the new building by the armory. You have mobile cranes, which is just on a truck. You have truck mounted, which is kind of the same as mobile. Rough terrain cranes, as you can see here, it can stabilize itself. Loaders, and then you have the overhead crane, which is mostly used in factories. Finally, we have a miscellaneous category, for things such as dump trucks, pickup trucks, boom lifts, scissor lifts, and forklifts. I'm sure you all know what these are, but they're very common in construction and necessary.
Thank you. So now we're going to go over some of the inventions in the construction industry. So one of the state-of-the-art inventions that we looked into was self-healing concrete. So this concrete is mixed just like regular concrete, but there's an extra ingredient called the healing agent. And this healing agent remains intact during the mixing, and it only becomes active if the concrete cracks and water gets in, and at that point it'll self-heal. So here we have another invention that's called aerogel insulation. So aerogel is one of the least dense substances found on Earth, and it's a foam-like solid that can hold its shape. You can see in the image to the right. So it's almost as light as air, and it also demonstrates superior insulating properties in construction projects. It's very difficult for heat to pass through its structure, and it's currently expensive to produce, but as the cost comes down in the future, widespread use is expected in the construction industry. So here we have robotic swarm construction, and this was actually created by researchers at Harvard's Self-Organizing Systems Research Group. And they're actually small robots that are programmed to work together as a team on construction projects, and they use sensors to detect each of the other robots. The robots can currently build brick-like walls, and future applications of these robots include construction on other planets, deep underwater gas pipelines, or brick walls along a flooded coastline, and many more applications. So here we have a 3D printer to print homes, and this invention allows homes to be printed using large concrete 3D printers. And the prices of these homes have recently dropped due to more affordable technology, and it's starting to make an impact in the housing market in the United States. So the 3D printed homes can cost as low as $10,000, and in the image you can see a 3D printing 3D printing a home in progress. So here we have a case study in the construction equipment. So here we have a green boom lift that helps save time and money. And this project is in downtown Chicago, and it was in May 2013. The project required zero emissions with the equipment that was used during the construction, and the world's tallest electric powered lift met this requirement in the urban area of Chicago. So the lift had to have a 60-foot working height and a weight less than 500 pounds, so that it could be operated from the second level of a retail plaza. And if the boom lift hadn't been available, the crew from the Crown Corps would have to utilize swing stages to reach these work areas, which would have been very difficult. With the additional amount of time it would take to set up, tear down, and move the swing stages, it would have taken much longer to complete the job, incurring possible greater expenses. The lift also featured all-wheel drive, automatic traction control, oscillating axle, and non-marking tires to aid in the process.
So next we have trends in construction equipment. The rising trends in construction equipment include equipment with tracks over tires, and then there's also been a rising popularity in rentals to cut down on costs, as well as the use of radial tires and artificial intelligence. And as the construction equipment industry has matured, more challenges have come to face with the workers in the industry. So some challenges they have faced is the emergence of foreign construction equipment manufacturers. So force domestic players to embrace advanced technology that meet global standards, as well as reduce the need for skilled labor. And they also have a lack of special incentives to finance the import of high-tech construction equipment for infrastructure projects. There has also been the interstate movement of equipment that's been very difficult for the construction equipment to face, as well as high operation and maintenance costs. Continuing the challenges that the industry faces is limiting over emission or pollution. As the world is aging, there has been more issues with pollution, and it's just a big problem, and we want to save the world. So this industry has to make big efforts to avoid giving the earth higher pollution levels. So they also have to maintain high safety standards and prohibit unregulated imported used equipment, and poor networking within financial institutions cause delays in loan executions. And that concludes our presentation, and here's our works cited. Thank you.